We're not sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hearing impaired, so I have to check to make sure I'm alive. Also because I'm very, very old. So, I generally do a story. A week or so ago, it was a big deal about where were you when the world stopped turning? And I remember very well when 9/11 was. I was pouring concrete out at the Milford golf course when we first heard the news. And as the news went on about 9/11 into the evening, it became time for me to do some soul searching. You see, we had tickets for Winfield at the big Walnut Valley Music Festival. Been going there for years and years and years. And we had bought our tickets ahead of time, which are rather expensive. But because there was no air traffic, I wasn't sure that they'd have it. But since we had our tickets and we had our getaway from job all lined up, we decided we'd just go and see what happened. Well, because there was no air traffic, a lot of the entertainers who come from all over the world really, but mainly the United States, couldn't be there because of no planes in the sky. So they had to introduce different people in order to take the space of those who couldn't make it there. And so it was for that reason that I heard this particular song. It was on a Saturday morning. It was a guy from Colorado, I don't know his name, but he done a song called Bristlecone Pine. And that intrigued me greatly. In that situation, with my hearing, I can't ever get all the words to a song. But I knew that I wanted to learn that song. And so I done and also, I'm pretty much anti the modern world. I don't have the computers and I don't believe in that for me. And so I done the neighborly thing. I gets on the phone and I calls up my buddy, Butch Kraus. Butch, I need words to a song. So I told him what I needed, and about 2 or 3 days later, here come the words to the song for the Bristlecone Pine. That let Butch do a favor for me, and I didn't have to get involved in the modern world. Worked out great. So anyway, when I got the words to the song, I just fell in love with the song. I am a woodworker. I love trees, old trees that have been stood the test of time and got all kinds of funny limbs and branches on them. They're the ones that draw my attention. And that was what I understood was a bristlecone pine. Anybody know what a bristlecone pine is? I learned the words to the song and decided that I had to go visit the bristlecone pine. So I waited till late in the fall because I didn't want to go there and be there when there were a bunch of people running around. I wanted to go to this particular campground so I could be alone with bristlecone pine. That's another strange thing about me. I enjoy time alone. So anyway, I waited till fall and I goes all the way out to Nevada, up in the mountains. The road up to the campground where I wanted to be was very, 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 very steep. I'm driving a 318-inch Dodge van with an automatic transmission, and I pulled that thing down and as far as I could get it to the carpeting on the floorboards, and we started up the mountain. It kept getting higher and higher. I didn't know whether that old 318 would make it or not, but there was no way to turn around then. Luckily enough, we got up there and got to the top. There's room there for probably 25 campers in the campground. I was the only one there. Some things turn out right. So it got really, really cold that night. I got there not too long before dark. And I had this fan built up for myself, and it had a forced air furnace in it. And I realized throughout the night that furnace run a number of times, so it was pretty cold out there. So a little before daylight, I gets up and I runs to the restroom, run, because it was damn cold. So I ate my Frosty Flakes, which is customary for me, drank some coffee, got every stitch of clothes that I had and put them on, and I had taken a goodly number of clothes. So then I let out started up, you have to walk about probably 3 mile hike up to where the pine actually are. And you travel through a bunch of what is known as limber pine. And I'm trying to convince myself, maybe this is bristlecone pine. Not. When you break out of the limber pine and you see the bristlecone pine, you realize there is no comparison. You will never mistake any other tree for a bristlecone pine ever. So I spent from daylight till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I had not seen another human being, just me and the trees. So I come down and went on my way that night. And so the next morning, I turned on the radio and a commentator is giving a news report. And this was a day later, pardon me. He said last night it snowed up on the mountains and all the high passes were closed. If I had gone 1 day late, I wouldn't have got up there. Or if I'd have gone a half a day late, I'd have been up there maybe for the winter, or that or hike back down. So anyway, I learned the song, hope I can do it tonight. And everybody else does this song, does a lot better job than I do. But they can't do the third verse for you because I wrote that. Way up in the mountain, on the high ridge line, why there's a crooked old tree, it's called the bristlecone pine. The wind there is cold, oh it cuts like a knife, and it keeps that tree holding on for dear life. Hold on it does, standing alone, standing while empires they rise and fall down. Jesus was a gathering his lamb to the fold, while that tree was already 1,000 years old. Oh, the way I've lived, there ain't no way to tell. When I die, if I'm a-going to heaven or to hell, they lay me to rest, it'd suit me just fine. If I could sleep at the feet of the bristlecone pine, as I would slowly return to earth, whatever little this body of mine might be worth, I'd soon start to feed the roots of that tree. Oh, it would partake of the essence of me. For who's to say that as centuries turn, a small spark of me might continue to burn, as long as the sun did continue to shine down on the limbs of bristlecone pine. By this song, my love for trees sent me driving west for 2 long days, past the Denver town, the great Salt Lake City, across the Black Rock Desert to Nevada land, and way up in a mountain, there's a whole field filled with them bristlecone pine. I'm sitting on a rock with my feet propped up. Now my back's a resting on a pillar of pine. My mind is left to wonder if the green of those trees is a tribute to life. The white of their eroded trunks is a signpost to eternity. Oh, the way I've lived, there's no way to tell. When I die, if I'm a-going to heaven or to hell, I'm not gonna leads down to the place that we all call hell. But I have been to the gates of heaven, for it lies just beyond the bristle home high. Sure now, heaven lies just beyond the bristle home high. Now I gotta do another song.
Yeah.
I never know, I'm always telling stories. Have I got time? I got time. The old man used to dream of the fortunes he'd see. Now he lives in a room where you pay by the fee. His hands are all battered and his pony's gone lame. Bones always ache when the sky looks like rain. Now he dreams of the old days in a brown bustin' way. Wide open faces where buffalo play. Knows his last mountain and his 2 flights of stairs. Saddle turned into an old rocking chair. In the morning he wakes up and he wonders what for. Nobody home on the range anymore. He closed down the bunkhouse, they padlocked the door. Nobody home on the range anymore. Nobody home on the range anymore. Well, that's part of that song anyway. Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming, and I know that the people here at the Crescent Moon have gone out of their way to make it possible for us to do this here. We all need to do our part and wear the mask. That's what we can do to help them to continue to do this. Thank you all.
Okay.